currently stuck. Tried to cross this Tidal flat and kind of went the long way around and just got stuck, broke through the crust here right at the end. So I got 4 max tracks. I was on 28 psi, which was dumb, so we dropped down to 15, and I reckon this should be out, but tide's just about to turn, so as long as we're out, it's probably a good idea to go back rather than get up to a point and not be able to get back through. So this is the only track in and out. We're at Dundee Beach, just west of Darwin then. Alright, so we got out, as you just seen, and we figured I don't want to keep going because the tide's actually turned and we both get over and can't get back. There's nothing to winch off and we'll be stuck over here, and I think the tide's going to rise like 3 meters, so I'm just going to turn around. We've got the snatch on ready to go. Gibbo's going to back up over there and just get ready to basically give me a pull if needed. Let's give it a crack. Yo.
Hello.
Hello.
Anything you have to say for yourself?
I cleaned my car yesterday.
Alright, so after nearly losing the car to the tide, we thought we better head south of Dundee down to Stingray Head and 5 Mile Beach. We thought we'd set up camp here for the night somewhere and give it a crack before we head back to Humpty-Doo. We had Litchfield to do the next day, so we thought we'd take advantage of spending the whole day out in Dundee. So we did a bit of fishing, a bit of four-wheel driving as you can see, and this is what Stingray Head looks like just a bit further on. Basically, a couple of k's south of Dundee, we aired down. Gibbo ran 28 psi and I was on 15 after getting stuck like that. So nice little beach access, which is actually private property. You just got to stay on the main track and then move along down the beach here. You cross a bit of an inlet there, so when the tide's in, it is actually quite deep and you probably wouldn't get through. So there is also an inland track that goes to where we are right there, Stingray Head, and we took that on the way out because in the morning at 6 o'clock the tide was right in. All that bit below us on the cliffs there was completely underwater, so you really have to be smart about the tides up here. Just here you can see how much the tide comes in, so this was over a period of about 20 minutes while we had lunch. So again, it come in a lot further later, right up to the rocks, and it was an awesome spot for a fish because you could sit on your camp chair right on that point and throw the rod in. Again, down here we were lucky enough to make it down the beach before the tide come in. As you can see, where we're driving right now is all wet and damp, so the tide would come in all this way, and that's another reason we didn't really want to camp down at 5 Mile Beach, that if we did get stuck down there for whatever reason, needed to get out, we were completely trapped.
Yeah, 5 Mile Beach. The tide is starting to come, well, it is definitely coming in now, and we're not sure whether to camp up here or back at Stingray Head where we had lunch. Looking that way, you could possibly get around, but as the tide's coming in, it's probably too risky, and this stuff is just like clay. Already getting stuck in our thong, so probably not the best idea. So we thought we'd come down and look. There's 2 victims here. One here, one over there, and we saw another one on the way down the beach. I think these guys didn't figure out the tide was coming in, and this is what's left. I wonder what it is. I mean, those tyres, man, I'll grab them for some spares. So yeah, that's what salt water does to a car. So make sure you pay attention to the tide. in the time we've been here, which is like 5 minutes, that bull bar is already starting to go underwater when none of it was before. It's pretty quick. But we are thinking we're going to go back to Stingray Head and camp because it's actually not as nice here as we thought, and it's full of mangroves, which more bugs, more mozzies, which we've had plenty of so far. So this is victim number 2. What do you reckon, Jim? Take it home?
So after having a look down there and looking at all the wrecked cars that were buried in the sand, we thought it was probably a smarter idea to go back to Stingray Head. There was a bit of a breeze up there, which was the first time we'd had a breeze in a long time, and with the humidity, that breeze was just awesome. Still lots of sand flies, and unfortunately we didn't catch any fish. I think this was because we didn't have any bait, so we were only running lures and the soft plastics, so try and be a bit more prepared next time and carry some squid or cockles on us, something that we can keep in the freezer and throw in. The sunset was absolutely unreal. As you can see here, I was lucky enough to have the drone up and saw this bird fly past, so decided to follow it for a bit, and I thought that was a pretty cool shot with the drone getting that close to the bird. I actually thought I was going to run into it at one point, so pretty glad I didn't total the drone into the water there. But yeah, we spent the night there and basically got up the next morning ready to hit Litchfield National Park. Dundee is probably only 45 minutes from your first stop in Litchfield, so if you're heading out that way and want a nice free camp for the night, there is a caravan park there also, but we thought we'd save the dollars and just park up for the night. Alright, well, we are currently walking first stop at Litchfield National Park, called Lower Cascades and Upper Cascades, and definitely one of the most tropical walks we've done. The water just looks so clear and clean. I think we're just a tad early in the season. I think they've said no swimming because possibly crocs, but it's definitely some spots you could sit in.
So I was actually mistaken.
Falls and stuff.
The Lower Cascades is here, and that was just another mini waterfall behind. So still plenty of water flowing. Bloody awesome.
So again, here we followed our number 1 rule, which is don't stop at the bottom of a waterfall. At the Upper Cascades, we decided to keep walking up, and were lucky enough to be rewarded with this awesome natural water slide. It definitely wasn't the smoothest thing, as you can see. I definitely didn't do it as well as Gibbo did, but there was a drop off down the end, as you can see, and it was a little bit rough, but after a few times it also wiped off all this slime that made it nice and slippery. So we enjoyed that for a little bit and then head back down to enjoy this autumn waterfall that we saw at the Lower Cascades. That's me getting in position for a bit of photography there. I am trying to enjoy a bit of photography, but trying to get to harder locations gets the better shots. We finished it off with a nice little bath under the waterfall, and definitely one of the best things we've done so far is just sitting under there, getting a free massage off the water and just enjoying life. So that was pretty much it for this little trip, and I've got some more content from the rest of NT, so make sure you subscribe for that, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.